Ahoy, Starsketeers! Welcome back to our third and final episode of our single-serving tabletop adventure from Queen's Court Games. I'm Clara, and tonight I'll be your game master on this space western pirate adventure for Starscape, a found family science fiction game by Golden Lasso Games. If you're curious about this new system we're playing, you can check out our Starscape over on Kickstarter, where you can learn more about its unique relationship and shipbuilding and combat mechanics. By the time you see this episode, the Kickstarter will be over, but you can still donate to show your support. Type !game in chat or check the show notes for a link. Now on to our cast. First off, our aqueous rebel with a quadrifocal Gare stare, it's Garrett.
Hey there.
Used quadrifocal and it's hard for me. Next, playing our nerdy nebulous greenhorn, Nepter, it's Danny of Danny's Corner.
That's me, it's Danny's Corner.
Our unfamiliar feline familiar, Bernard Shelley, is played by Happy Jack's very own Artem.
Hello, it's me, Artem.
And finally, as our reckless warrior, Banshee, also joining us for Happy Jacks, is Riley.
Hello, that's me.
!cast will give you all the ways you can follow our cast members' social media accounts and projects. Please take a moment also to note this episode's content warnings. You can find them at !safety in chat or in the episode description, wherever you're catching us after. Now fasten your seatbelts and get ready to launch, and let me tell you a story. Last we left off, our crew joined the race to follow the Amaryllis Beacon to a hopefully huge payout of ill-gotten credits stolen by the legendary con artist Darryl Dale. On the way, the crew fought other spacers out in the belt, and inside the Narwhal, tensions ran high. Still, our crew outmaneuvered them all as they streaked across the stars to an uncharted dwarf planet. On the surface, the crew noticed strange whispering voices and ghostly happenings as they searched for the crashed ship until they quite literally stumbled upon the remains of the Amaryllis. Here you all are, the Amaryllis. It is a large, it's a large ship, larger than the Narwhal, but not by much. It kind of looks like a tugboat a la Steamboat Willie in that it has the little smokestacks that you can imagine exhaust comes from, but also it has these wood paneled sides like a Woody car. As you look at it, as you all kind of get a hard look at it, it seems to flicker in and out, kind of like a poorly tuned television. And I realize nobody uses televisions that need to be tuned like this, so like think creepypasta ARG situation with static or like glitching almost. But it's at the stop, and you can kind of see if you focus really hard movement, like people walking around in it or around it.
And these people, they're also kind of having the same effect on them of like the flickering in.
Yeah, it's not like they're walking past you or anything, but like you can kind of see like in windows, like a glance of a face for a second, or that sound like when you're hearing people talking, also coming in and out with that Doppler effect. It's very, not to dictate how you feel, but it is unsettling.
I look at my my crewmates and I go, well, curious. I've very rarely heard of a distress signal being sent out by, well, how old is this distress signal? For some reason, I assumed that they were all, I don't know, expired? Dead? Was I wrong to assume that?
I don't think you're wrong. This feels like, or it seems like some kind of, like they seem to be blinking in and out of existence. It's unsettling.
It is unsettling now that you bring it up.
Has anyone seen this type of thing before? I look at Banshee, look at Nether and Bernard. Ask them all the same. Ask them all the... It's addressed all of you.
It's very curious to me. Banshee?
I mean, I have seen many different types of beings, and I've seen beings who, come in and out of corporealness as part of their, nature. Our friend Nepter here is a good example of someone who is made partly of stars, and so is a little bit of a unique physiology. But no, I haven't. This is totally new for me. It's tough. Yes. I could maybe try to fight one and see what happens, but that's about all I got.
I will say that if you'd like to try an access knowledge roll, that might help you try to suss out what's going on, but this is weird.
But let's let somebody who's not at -1 on brains be the one to make an access knowledge roll.
I think Nepter will. Nepter's gonna do it.
And she's looking at her staff, trying to think of what effect it would have.
Can I attempt to help Nepter out?
There's a crew move for that as well.
Okay, good.
Banshee, you can certainly try to hit one of them if you'd like.
Oh, I'm going to. I mean, ectoplasmic energy is energy, right? And this is a kinetic energy staff. We'll see what happens.
I do like percussive science.
I do actually have, I didn't take it, but one of the options in my playbook for moves is when you're repairing the ship, you can use roll plus body to repair anything on the ship's systems.
Hell yeah. Nepter, you have a face. Like, perhaps we may... Well, what did you roll?
I got a strong 5.
A strong 5 even. Well.
A tight 5, as you would say in stand-up comedy.
I got an 8.
Olokun with an 8. There is...
Bernard was also helping.
Yeah, I Bernard kind of put the paw on Nepter, and maybe I use my... Yeah, I'll say, Nepter, do you mind if I just look a little bit closer at what you're looking at as well?
Yeah, it's probably good. But also, not too close.
Okay.
Because I might techno-ghost you.
Oh, okay. Great. I will. I will be respectful of your privacy. And I will extend my face to lick the ship. And I'll add. And so I'm gonna do my got your back move, which wagers a trust. I wager a trust. I rolled a 6 on a d6 to add to Nepter's roll, but also because I did my weird move, I'm actually gonna not be able to regain my trust because it's very off-putting to see someone's face leave their face.
It's rather low on the list of things that are bothering me at this current moment. But it's not helping either.
Yeah, weird echo ghost. Now you have no face.
Nepter, what was your lowest die?
1.
Oh, wild. What was your highest die?
3.
Okay, so 3 and 6 will make 9, which is...
Nice.
You do get there. You and Olokun roll the same. Bernard, we'll get to you.
Okay.
It's something that I wanted you to do later. Fine. Nepter and Olokun. Olokun, I feel you're a rebel. You've been around for a while. You've heard a lot of. You've been a spacer a while. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And Nepter, you're pretty heckin' new at this. So for Olokun, you've heard a rumor of this before, but you've never seen it. And frankly, it's not supposed to be able to happen. To your understanding, the way that people go in faster than light travel is good old fashioned space folding, which means that you kind of find a point ahead of you and fold space you fold space and then it unfolds and you're in that spot. However, that isn't always a perfect system. And so sometimes you can leave parts of you behind, or you can leave parts of you in the space that got folded, on the other side of the fabric, as it were. Nepter, when you were studying So, Olokun, you've heard a rumor of this happening, but no, you've never known anyone to do it. In fact, it's kind of a myth.
Right.
Nepter, when you were studying in school and all of the things that you saw it happen in an experiment, and honestly, it was not good. It did not have result. Like, you would not like to see anyone try to replicate these results. I'm gonna have each of you take a condition, because this is like seeing a horror story come to life a little bit. Yeah. Bernard, you helped.
Yes. Yes.
You put your face
Oh no.
on the ship.
I did.
Also, okay, Nepter, you didn't fail, so you're good. And yes, Banshee had for your get your XP for failing if you your roll. Oh, okay, Bernard. Just gonna jump right into it. You put your face on something that is half in and half out of warp.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also gonna take a condition.
For sure.
And that condition is face warp.
Your condition is oh no. And it specifically accesses something that you've been trying to remember. And your conversation with Banshee, like, you were scratching at it, but your conversation with her really set it off for you. You know this ship. You knew Darryl's voice. And as your face is applied to the ship, for the briefest second, you keep hearing people you kept hearing people talking as if they were still reliving that the crash.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear, in that moment, a voice saying, "We're not going fast enough. We have to lighten the load. We have to lose speed. Toss everything. Toss what you can." And you feel it. You feel someone grab you and throw you. And then you feel the cold. And you have just enough time to climb into a crate and huddle for warmth as the memory fades again.
Oh my god. Bernard, I just start shouting, "Help! Help! Get me out! Get me out! Get me out! Help! 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 Help!" And I think my body facelessly is just aimlessly kind of running amok and just smacking into things and tripping over. And I've my body stat just crashed. I have both the afraid and selfish condition marked. Curiosity got the best. Yeah, I don't know how to get my face out. I think I'm terrified right now. Help! 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 Help!
What happened, Bernie?
Help! Help!
It's not an answer. And then I'm gonna chase after them, I think, because I don't know what else to do. So I'm just sort of rambling behind them, trying to sort of hug them from behind so that they don't bump into anything or hurt themselves more.
Is the face on a panel or anything on the ship, or is it melded into the ship? How does it work?
It is very much like my images of the Cheshire cat kind of grin, where it sort of shows up in places, but it has to be on something that has some amount of tech. So I think my face is kind of went through the wall of the ship and is looking inside, and maybe is overseeing this happen, or is that Clara, or do you feel like that's something that my face wouldn't be able to do?
I think you'd be on the outside, not the inside, on the outside, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're touching the tech.
Yeah, but I'm experiencing what this ship experienced.
I'm gonna grab that panel and like try to like jam my my staff into like a crack or a crevice and try to yank. I'm like trying to crowbar basically the piece of the ship that their face is attached to, and try to pull their face, like physically pull the machine off the ship that has their face attached to it. I know I'm like destroying the ship by doing that, but at this moment, like I'm pure like trying to help my ally.
Go for it.
All right.
And if I can, I'd like to assist with that. Basically, I'm taking Banshee's lead, whatever she does. I'm just trying to aid, either give like extra leverage or, get fingers under the panel if we can, like whatever Banshee needs. I'm just trying to assist in that way.
So the way this assist works in the game, you're supposed to use like a technobabble, but you've described accurately what you're going to do, and this is a very untechnical thing.
Yeah.
So I am going to let you throw the one point in
Cool.
to assist. You'll get a condition if she fails, though.
That's actually awesome because you bumped me from a 9 to a 10 with that.
Hell yeah!
I had a 9 on the dice because I get a +1 because of I got +2 for body, +1 for my warrior moves, and then I rolled a 9 total, and then you gave me the 10, so that's perfect.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Bernard is just going, oh, please help me, get me off the ship. Yeah.
They're doing it.
Yeah, Banshee, you're able to get your staff in and pry it off. Olokun, on the other side, your fingers get under there and you just wrench off the wood panel siding. Darryl would be very upset. He paid extra for those. But as Bernard's as the panel comes off, the panel flickers slightly, and Bernard's face falls off the thing. And I'm gonna ask, when you're done, do you have to put your face back on, or does it go itself?
Like I think I imagine it that like I should be a little bit in control of it, but in this particular moment, I feel like I can't be in control of it. So I think it needs to be physically like put on my head.
Okay.
I have another move I can do. Is one of the conditions you have afraid at this particular moment? You say you took a lot of conditions, so...
Yeah, I have both my afraid and selfish in my body, are marked, so I'm crashed.
Okay, I'm going to come up to you, and I'm going to do a connect move, and I'm going to, like, grab your shoulders, and I'm going to yell, Bernard Shelley, you are not... folded away. You are not distant. You are here now, and your face is here, and you can have your face back, and you can be part of our crew. You have got this. And I like shake you. I'm like shaking you in like that, like the way like someone slaps someone when they're like having a panic to like settle them down. Obviously, I can't slap you in the face because your face. I slap the face on the panel, like hoping that will like alert you. But like I don't know what that does anything. But it's just part of the move of me shaking it. So then. I don't think I have to roll. I think this is based on you. This is a connect roll, so it's
Oh, I think this is really great. I think
spending a trust for that. Hang on. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think Bernard gets even more frightened because they feel like they've done something wrong. Yeah.
Banshee's not doing great in the morale department anymore.
Where did my face go?
Percussive therapy apparently does not work.
Yeah, twice in a row now.
It's not her strongest suit, but she's just so strong. If I see that Bernard seems like they're freaking out even more, I think would I have been able to like hold them or like stop them from moving so much? Well, I imagine Banshee was able to stop them, but I'm wondering like if before that, if I could have am I hugging them is my question.
You can be hugging them. Whether or not you've stopped them is up to what's your body stat? Just plus or minus 1? 0. I'll let you roll for it. It's negligible result. Like roll and we'll see.
Cool.
You won't take any damage unless you roll really bad.
No. Oh.
I have to stop saying that.
It was so nice for a second, and then you cursed me. It's okay, I got a 5. I'm just really light, you have to understand.
I should make you roll for things if I don't want you to take consequences for them. I'll have you take a condition. Bernard, your body has got run off. It hasn't left the clearing, but it is running and it's taken Nepter with it.
Can I try another tactic?
Yes, please.
I think my medic training is going to kick in. I think what I'm seeing is more of like a shell. I think similar to last time, but a shell shock. But I think instead of trying to give a speech, I want to do more of a technical role of like medicine. So I think I want to like maybe like start doing a breathing exercise, like a mimic my breathing pattern kind of thing, and like maybe like I kind of like start modeling a meditation form. I feel like my warrior people, we probably have a lot of meditations and like martial art and like yoga type things that we do to like center ourselves. And so I'm just going to start doing a breathing exercise to you, looking at the panel and like trying to like calm you down that way. So I guess I'll roll with plus medicine. Mm-hmm. That makes sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Could I argue to add heart to this by any chance, or is that...
I'm really compelled to do so. Is your heart... Well, your heart is better than your brains, yes?
My heart and my medicine are the same, so it's going to be one or the other.
I will say that you can roll your heart stat. If someone wants to help you again, then they can add the assist. But if you're just relying on your own cultural...
I'll do medicine, that's fine. It's a 6. Bernard, I cannot help you, Bernard Shelley. I have a 6.
Bernard Shelley is having a panic attack.
Where's my body?
That's what I was trying to stop.
Sometimes you just gotta let it ride, I guess.
I guess.
I lost my body. I lost my face.
While all this is happening, and this isn't going to help because I don't know how to help, but Olokun is just, he sees the body running off. He sees the face and it being talked to and it having, I'm assuming, very wildly expressive emotions on said Cheshire Cat face. So Loki's just gonna like walk a little bit and then just take a seat and pull out another stogie and just be like, this is not how I expected my day to go today. I've seen the face thing, but they've never run away from it. I don't I just gotta have a little existential crisis for a bit until I can find something to do with my actual character to help.
Bernard's body at this point has turned around and is coming back into the clearing because, and I think, I'm like, how long do panic attacks last? I think just with time, Bernard, you'll start to come down from the panic. You're here, and Banshee's words do settle in a little bit. You are here. Obviously, you still crashed out a little bit. But you can start to calm down after a little bit, especially because she's removed the panel, like you're not attached to the thing, and then the panel is flickered away and is flickering back, but with your face no longer on it, if that makes sense. You've been dislodged. So all of you, I'm gonna say all of you take a second just to figure, get your feet under you, some of you literally. But I will impress upon everyone, and you can kind of hear it as you have this moment of chaos. You can hear off in the distance other search parties are tramping around, and you don't know how long it will take for them to get to come upon this.
I feel like I see Banshee and I see that she's doing just the best that she can, but the fact is that she's there, she's here, and I even glance over and I see Olokun, who's like actually kind of stoically at peace and calm, and then I see that my body is not alone, it's with Nepter. And I go, can somebody bring me bring my face to my body, please?
I grab the whole panel and carry it over and like put it I push the face towards where the face should go on the body.
Like it kind of like comes off the panel and like with like a pop, just comes back on the body, and I stumble back. Oh my! I'm so embarrassed. That was so scary. Oh, Thank you all for trying. Lokun, are those medicinal? May I have one, please?
Olokun takes out like 3 and just gestures in your direction.
And I, of course, take all 3 in my paw. Ah, yes. Like this? I like that. I try to smoke that.
I think because I'm reckless right now with one of my conditions, and I think seeing like this thing has just happened because of the ship to a friend of mine, and now other people are coming in. I think that I'm gonna like just start walking towards like what looks like a door or entrance to the ship and just start heading in. Like I'm not waiting any longer. Like I'm like, no, this is scary, and whatever's happening needs to be faced. And so I have my staff, and I'm going in like full throttle.
I think I'm on the ground again. I think after all like the running around, I'll just plop back on the ground, sitting and trying to catch my breath. And then I see Banshee start to go towards the ship, and I say, "We're still doing this? Is this still happening?"
I'm still doing it, and I'm like frustrated. I think I'm like feeling frustrated because I have now had 2 different crewmates like snap away my attempt to like help them. So I think for me it's like, well, I can't do anything to help you, so I'm just gonna do what I'm good at, which is go into the ship and beat up ghosts.
I just feel like, trauma or money, what are we choosing right now? I'm really not. I really feel like I don't know what we're doing, and there's a lot of going that's happening. There's a lot of going. I don't really want to go anymore. I don't want to go. So,
I think at that, Olokun would finally dust himself off and be like, yeah, it's a weird day, that's for sure. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. We came here. Might as well see this to the end. And Oloku's gonna turn and start to follow Banshee.
I sit there a bit longer, and Bernard's still there. So Bernard's the one to see Neptune like they start just like patting. I start just patting at like my knees almost, and it's like you'll see like little puffs of space, fog, dark mist sort of fall off of me for a second as I start like body almost starts like heating up, and I'm just like, call.
I take a drag of one of my 3 cigarettes from a look, and then I hand one of them to Neptune and say, these, I think these are supposed to help. I can't feel anything. Here you go.
Olokun, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
1, these medicinal stogies you've got, how strong are they usually?
So, Olokun, these are special stogies they got from the planet. Generally, when you start smoking, that is the strongest hit it's going to be. It's a cultural thing, but the point is you kind of have to learn to get used to it. So let's just say it would be very strong for a first timer. It's not what you're supposed to start out with.
Oh my gosh.
All right. In that case, and I will say if this is too much, let me know. But I do feel like, Bernard, you can move one of your conditions to something else.
So if I move a oh, you know what? I've got a perfect one. I think the body definitely stays crashed, but I think we are now feeling depressed.
Bad trip, got it. Banshee, you're strong as heck. You can tear a door open easily. The ship is clearly not doing great, so I don't think any security systems are on. You two enter the ship, and it's strange. It's hard because again, it's flickering in and out of warp. So when it is not here, it is not here. But it's not as if the whole ship is going at once. So floor panels are disappearing and reappearing, and walls are disappearing and reappearing. The interior looks very post-earthquake. Everything is, tables and chairs knocked on their sides. It's about, like I said, it's a little larger than the Narwhal, so there's not that much to explore as far as rooms are concerned. Are you looking for something specifically?
Yeah, probably like wherever, like whatever this treasure is, like wherever that would be on the ship, or either that or something to stabilize it. But I don't really know enough about that kind of stuff. So like I'm assuming, like, now that if I'm aware that Olakun is behind me, I'm gonna probably like let him be the one that looks for something sciencey, and I'm just like, we were told to get a thing, so I'm gonna get a thing, and that's what I'm doing. And yeah,
for sure. Olakun, you can do a brains roll to kind of try to suss out
Sure.
where where the treasure is. You know what's happening to the ship, so
8.
All right. Do you recall when the two of you were on Pious Andronicus, you received a credit stick, yes?
Yes.
So conceivably, any missing credits might be in a similar shape now. One could argue, and that's a tiny thing to lose on a person. There are two options this credit stick could be. It could be attached to the ship as saved as data, like a bank account. Or it is on the person, Darryl Dale. And as you think about this, you can hear those echoes of people talking around you eerily. And now that you realize the ship is half in and half out of warp, it's probably the voices of the crew.
Banshee, do you hear those voices that keep going like in and out?
yes, the ghosts, indeed.
Yes. They are probably the crew. And if they are, I think we just have to find the same voice that we heard on the beacon. If we can match that, that's probably who has everything. We might be able to get our score.
This seems to work for me.
Okay.
How do we do this?
We listen. Let's focus our energy on our ears and listen and see if we can match that voice.
You both can roll brains or body to see if you can listen for Darryl Dale's voice.
Olokun is definitely talking out of his ass right now, so it's going to be a body roll. Oh, that's so bad.
I got a 9, so I'm a little better than I have been.
And Olokun?
I rolled double ones, but I got a 2 in body, so it's a 4. It's still bad.
So take a condition.
I get XP too, right?
And XP, yes.
So I do level up.
Look at y'all. So Banshee, you've hunted, not hunted, but you've fought and interacted with other aliens that that have sort of that that have been able to camouflage and have been able to go incorporeal. So, to be honest, this isn't new. However, the circumstances are, and you feel the calm come over you. You were trying to meditate outside with Bernard, and you're doing it here now. And yeah, you hear it, that "listen here, see" kind of voice, annoying as hell, but probably a good singer, throughout the echoing for a moment in one room, and then seemingly just coming out of another room. And that's how you realize, because of the nature of half warp, it's almost like Darryl is stuck in like the neighboring dimension to yours. So you can follow him, but you cannot make contact. Yeah, and that's so you're now sort of presented with this issue, right? How do you make contact with something that is essentially on the other side? Only slightly rhetorical.
The only thing I can think of that I would try to do is, since I'm trying to do it right now, is maybe like try to triangulate. Like you say, like I'm hearing him over here, and I'm hearing him over here. I'm trying to like determine if I'm hearing a pattern, like if he's going to the same places over and over again, like if he's being bounced around the same section of the ship or not, or if it feels random completely. So I'm gonna like listen really hard to like see if I can hear like pinging of locations where he might be.
As a warrior, this is a thing I will let you just have, because this is 1,000% within your wheelhouse. He is following a track. Essentially, kind of as if he's reliving this situation over and over again. But do you guys say anything as you both are walking through the space beyond like just talking to each other? Are you making a lot of noise? You're trying to be stealthy?
I think I'm being quiet because I'm trying, since I'm actively using listening as my way of finding things. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm making a lot of noise. I think I'm very much in like serene, like not quite hunter mode, but that kind of like, oh, I'm physically listening for something, so I'm not adding any background noise to that situation.
Yeah, and I think for Olakun, definitely just taking, just piggybacking on whatever Banshee's doing and seeing how she really, not easily, but I think from his point of view, kind of easily, not only took in what he thought was ridiculous, but then applied it in real life and succeeded at doing that. For Olakun, she's mentioning a little bit of different light. A little bit like, oh, wow, that is kind of amazing. I mean, yeah, kind of picked it up a little easily. I mean, I could have done that, and I'm gonna mark jealousy as my condition. Definitely more respect, but still just a little like, wow, like I'm not a warrior, but I've been in my fair scraps. And it's just like, it's kind of like just seeing someone who's way better at doing something that you can kind of do. It's not your expertise, but you feel like you could do it, and then you see an expert do it, and you're like, I mean, that's they're cool.
It is truly the difference between seeing like a black belt in martial arts and someone who like learned to scrap on the streets. It is the like, she has some of the extra technique. She could probably teach you if you'd like. Banshee, as you're following the sound of Darryl Dale, you've got his pattern down. You've got exactly how he's been moving within the space. And as you get closer and closer, you do hear it. Suddenly you can kind of feel the wind of someone disturbing the air through that you are standing around. And as you find his route, and Olakun, as you kind of listen, and both of you are so quiet in this moment, you hear a voice say, "Hold on, is someone there?" And we're going to switch back to Bernard and Nepter. Nepter and Bernard, you are sitting outside the ship. Bernard, you've been having a really hard time.
Yeah.
Nepter, your friend, is having a really hard time. And it is about to get a little harder. Freaking out takes a second. When you come back from when you've recentered yourselves, you hear those voices getting closer. Another landing party has somehow managed to, whack their way through the underbrush, and they're getting close. You don't know how much time you have. So I'm going to let you guys get an idea of what you want to do, but I will say, if you take too long to argue, they will appear.
Nepter, are you okay?
Yeah, I know it's getting worse. They're on their way.
Nepter, did you figure something out about this ship? Did you hear the thing?
The thing? Like the people thing, or like the other people over there thing, or the...
No, the people in the ship, the voices in the ship.
Oh, yeah, it's creepy. I don't really like it.
Nepter, I know those voices. I was on this ship. Someone threw me away.
Really?
I mean that, Nepter. Somebody threw me away. I was on this ship and they threw me out. Like I was replaceable. But maybe I don't know.
I just get up and hug you.
Oh.
Like full body.
Oh, thank you. I'm not. You don't think that they were just going to replace me with another one of me? How if I'm replaceable, then maybe there's just I'm just not that special or really different. I'm just something.
You're Bernie. There's not another Bernie. I can't go in the trees and pick out a Bernie. You're Bernie. You're smart and really cool, and you adapt really cool to things, and it's always been really interesting to see the way you like deal with like mechanics and technology and stuff and all the techno stuff, because you have such a unique way of doing it, and so it's like I don't think anybody else could really do that. I think you're you, and there's not gonna be another you. Like how there's not gonna be another me. I could split off into 5 different me's, but it won't be me.
You can?
I mean, when I explode, yeah. Oh, but that's not like for a really, really long time. That's just like a cycle of life, sort of, for me.
Nepter, I just realized this must be such a strange thing to talk to someone about, and you're so cool with all of this. Thank you.
I'm honestly pretty terrified. I don't really know what I'm doing a lot of the time. Yeah, it's bad out here.
And as you say it's bad out here, I kind of look around and realize we're really not that alone anymore. And I say, Nepter, I think this is probably crazy, and I'm just not a brave cat like Banshee or Lokun, but I gotta know what the heck happened inside Chip. You're right. I'm Bernie.
You're Bernie.
Why'd they throw me out? That's not okay. Can you help me? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm with you all the way. We're gonna do this. Because we're a team.
We're a team. I five you with my paw. Okay, let's go. I don't know who these people are who are coming, but I honestly, I can only handle one strange thing at a time right now. And I just start to paw and pounce or whatever. I run inside.
I will also run inside, but I would like to, as I'm going in, what is the entrance situation for this ship?
There is a side door. It's sort of a it looks like a panel that can be lowered down. Banshee has pulled it down, and when she and Olokun crawled in, because frankly, doors can't stop Banshee. So the door has been torn down.
Is there enough sort of rubble and sort of dirt and debris around where I could realistically, as we're going inside, try to make like a makeshift like covering so it's harder to see that sort of opening, so that there'll be like there's a front door and they might miss it? How do we feel about that?
You're not going to have enough time. I think between your pep talk and some of the chaos, I think you either have enough time to get inside or close the door behind Banshee and Olokun and stay outside.
Okay. Well, we're going inside. We gotta figure this stuff out. We're a team.
So you run in after Olokun and Banshee. It's not hard to find them. I assume you aren't being terribly quiet.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably, I'm definitely being cautious, but also I'm too scared to be really tactical.
Neptune was running on the adrenaline that somebody wronged their friend, so I think they just started rushing inside, because they're sort of angry right now. So I think they're just sort of like, you can hear like their steps just like pattering through like across the metal as they run aside. They're being cautious in the sense that they're trying to trip over things, but not cautious in the way that I'm being quiet.
Feel that. Yeah, it's not too hard to find where Banshee and Olokun are. And we will flip back to your perspective as, Banshee, you've heard it. The voice can hear you, it seems like. Or at least they're also sensing your presence.
Because I'm not very sciencey, and I don't really know what to do here, I'm not going to immediately announce who I am to them. I'm aware that he knows that I'm here, but I'm not necessarily trying to, like, play my entire hand to him right now. So all I'm going to do is, I don't think this is going to work, either in character or out of character, but what I'm doing, because I'm, like, frustrated, my two sciencey people especially, in my mind, are outside not wanting any help from me, so I am trying to do my own thing, and like they don't want my help, fine. I know a thing or two about anxiety and shell shock, they don't seem to care about that, so whatever. So like that's kind of what I'm doing, so I don't need them. They think they're so smart, maybe I'm smart. And so I take my staff out and I kind of like turn on the thing that like absorbs or impacts and like redirects energy, and I'm putting it right in what I determined to be like the main pathway this guy is going through. And my like percussive maintenance like attempt is to try to absorb some of this like residual energy, or I guess a better way that I could phrase it is hang on.
All right, technobabble your way out of this one.
I think that what I'm trying to do is to I am trying to invert the non-linear inducer polarizing pulse to kind of like stabilize what this like half warp, half not warp situation.
Kimmy, I am going to slap fight you in a Starbucks parking lot for putting me through this much technobabble. We're not going full Waffle House, and we're not going full Denny's, but we will thumb wrestle in a Starbucks parking lot over this. Amazing, Banshee. Roll with advantage. No, roll and add an extra. I'm gonna let you roll with advantage. Y'all have been rolling poorly.
Thank you.
That's 3, and then take your top 2.
Okay. Ooh, all right. Well, my top 2 gave me an 11 before anything else added to it, and then before I even add a stat or technical plus to it, it's just 11. So,
hell yeah. Well, Banshee, you extend your kinetic energy redirection staff, and you actually feel it thump against something, and you're a skilled warrior. You know the feeling of hitting someone in the stomach with a staff, and you hear, "Ow, fuck!" as you seem to have just straight up hit someone through another dimension. And you actually see sped up and slowed down, like that in a way that like the dust speeds up and then slows down. You see for a second a figure wearing a striped jacket, an ugly striped jacket, flicker into existence as he is thrown back, and then flicker out of existence as a poof of dust lands further back, following that trajectory. You seem to have hit someone through through the dimension. So I guess you can make contact.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you do this, Bernard and Nectar, you running through, see this happen. Banshee, has Banshee hit a ghost?
I turn and look at them as they come in and go, "I told you I would beat up a ghost!"
Wow. I never doubted you. That is very impressive.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't.
What did the ghosts say to you?
Oof. Oh, but he did cry for help. He asked, well, not help as much as, is anyone there? And I responded by hitting him with my stick. So I guess he knows I'm here.
You know, as you do.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were here.
Okay, there's a lot to say, mostly do. There's people already outside, not immediately, but on their way. And, Bernie has something to, I don't know if you want to share it, actually. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I felt like that was sort of important to...
Well, first of all, Nepter is so correct. There are definitely lots and lots of folks trying to get inside here, so we're in the right spot, and the score must be good. I am so sorry that I held us all up. I'm really feel like I'm a bit inadequate right now, and I apologize for putting us through. Well, now I'm slowing us down even more.
I'm going to confront you in the middle of you saying that. I'm going to do a confrontation, and I'm going to say, Bernard Shelley, it is not a flaw to occasionally have to deal with anxiety. However, you are aware there's a problem, and dragging down the mission to continue the problem then becomes a mistake. So, you have dealt with your issue. You needed to do it. The time was important, but now the time has begun to focus on the tasks at hand.
Angie, I very much value that feedback. I hear ya, and I would like to be of use as much as possible. And you're right. There's a time and a place, and that time was before, and that place was outside, having a freak out, and now I'm here, and this is a new time, a new place, and I'm ready to be the functional feline we all need and you all deserve. Thank you.
Okay, so you mark a condition but earn a trust. I earn a trust and clear a condition. So
Amazing. Oh, that's great. That's great, Banshee.
currently, there is a man who is a ghost, and you need to make him not a ghost.
That's right. Oh, I'm gonna make that man real, and then I'm gonna turn him into a ghost for real. Or something. Oh, I see what you mean. You need me to fix a thing.
He's stuck as a ghost, and you need to make him not a ghost.
Okay.
You can do this.
Yep. And I rub my paws. And also, can I just throw a thing out? That was great, Riley. I wanted to throw a thing out. Is it possible that the previous moment that I had that Neptune and I had, the scene outside, could that have been a connect move?
Yes, that felt very vulnerable, yes.
So great. So we.
God bless.
So where you all stand right now, Banshee punched a ghost. You are standing in a ship that is flickering half in and half out of warp. Essentially half in and half out of another dimension. So the problem in front of you seems to be, how do you get the ship out of warp? How do you find the credits from here with someone who is not on the same plane as you? And this is where I'm going to steal a mechanic from the Star Trek D20 game, and we're going to use the hypothesis system because I really like it, and I can't remember if it made its way into Starscape. So, oops. Essentially, what's going to happen is, as a crew, you will come up with 3 hypotheses as to how to either unstick the ship or unstick Darryl Dale, whichever you want to focus on, or maybe push him through to the other side. Whatever you want. You just need to figure out how to get your credits. And I'm gonna be very nice, and we're actually gonna take our break while you come up with these hypotheses. And when you come back, we can test them, and I will decide which one of the ones is the one that worked. That sound good? Heck yeah. All right. We'll take a break then. And welcome back. When we last left off, I posed to my crew to come up with 3 hypotheses that they can test to figure out how to maybe get the credits from Darryl Dale / if that involves getting him out of the warp, maybe. If that involves getting the ship out of the warp, doesn't matter. But yes, they have come up with 3 hypotheses that we can all test. However, they came up with them out of character. So we're going to jump back into the action as they stand on the ship, trying to figure out what the heck to do next.
So what if we just drag the whole thing out? You sounded like you had a smarter idea. What were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, essentially it'd be dragging everything out. So here's my idea. Every tadpole knows that when you travel through space, through hyperspace, you basically fold space around you and you travel. What it seems to happen here is that they folded around space, and now they're kind of going in and out of reality. It's really weird, very unsettling. But what we could do is basically just iron out the fold. I'm thinking with a big enough and the right kind of blast, you can basically just iron out the fold that they have on themselves and bring them back into this reality.
Well, I am always a fan of blowing things up, so I do like where your head is at for this. But speaking of where your head is at, along those lines, folding, I have met people who fold in interesting ways intentionally. I believe there's a form called origami, and I believe that it means a controlled fold that creates a design. So perhaps right now they are folded sort of randomly and haphazardly. Maybe it just needs somebody to go into the system and fold with an intention. And there is someone here who has proven already that he is able to access... Sorry. Let me take that so we can edit that. There is someone here already who has proven that they are able to access the system. And that is our friend Bernard Shelley and their face.
Oh. I suppose. Wow. So I go in and I unfold the fold from within, or we blast the fold to be flat and not folded, or Nepter, you think we can just yank it right free from the fold altogether?
Yeah, you know, like when you fold a piece of paper, you can sort of just like pull it, and it's unfolded, but it's just a little crinkly, sort of.
Yeah, it's like the ship is a piece of chewing gum that's gone stacked to slapped to a folded piece of paper, and we're yanking it free.
You lost me, but okay.
Okay. Well, I think, well, here's the good news. I think we are capable of doing any of these. I do feel really strongly that we are very capable. Nepter, you've studied these sorts of anomalies before? Space warps?
I was in a few classes, and I saw an incident. Something like this sort of happened. But yes, to answer your question.
So, perhaps, Nepter, I'm not sure, but it seems you're, to a certain degree, it seems like you and Alokan might be the experts in this field.
Experts? No. No.
No, we're experts.
Devil.
Come on. Pat Olukun's arm. Expert thinking. What if we combined sort of two of our ideas here? Olakun, you were talking about making a sort of explosion. It'd be pretty cool. An explosion that could sort of defold the sort of space area, right? And also, Banshee, you were thinking how we could have someone directly communicate with people from in this other side, ghost people. What if, I'm not exactly sure what materials we got here, so what if we do a middle ground where we make an opening for you, Bernie, so that when you connect with the ship, you're not just connecting with the technological side of it, but it maybe help guarantee that you will be going straight to the crew themselves so you can confront them yourself.
Oh. Huh. Sounds brilliant. I'm in.
So, which of your hypotheses do you want to try first?
I think we just combine. I just said combine two. I don't know.
So let me make sure I have this right. I have iron out the fold via explosion. Don't ask. So hypothesis 2, harness Bernard's ability to kind of control the fold. And then option 3, yank the whole thing, the crew, the ship, everything, to this side again, via other means. So 2 of these are basically, it seems, Yeah, okay, so this I think the yanking the whole ship one seems a little like a little broad, but I will let you technobabble your way into how you do the full yank. It sounds like the first two will just pull Darryl out, correct?
I don't know how much the origami suggestion will pull either all of them or one out. It's like that's more just like trying to stabilize the field.
Okay, cool.
Going for. Yeah.
And if I may, I was wondering if like this is something that maybe this is like a thing that Bernard could do right now, but this makes me curious about whether this ship is just capable of this space-time warping technology. I mean, per what Olokun was saying is that maybe most ships can do something similar, but this seems like, is this a patch that this ship went through, or did the ship have a weird thing happen with its engine and suddenly it warped space?
Oh. Yeah, this Olokun and Nepter didn't quite get the full roll to acquire the information. But like in the rumors and stuff, this is an accident. It's not. This is it's not a common accident, but this is basically just an accident that involved their warp drive.
Got it. So this can happen. Okay, I love that.
This can happen. It shouldn't, but it does.
Is this like the Cybertruck of spaceships? Are we in right now? Is that?
Yeah, this is why you have to check your space oil every 6,000 light.
Did they not get the upgraded software for the subscription for their space folding deal?
Do you think Professor Esquire Reverend Darryl Dale would not get the full upgrade on his space insurance?
Flashback to me outside the ship going, wow, this ship does not look rendered fully.
It's got wood paneling on the sides, but it's shaped real bad.
Yeah, well, I guess, I think Bernard, maybe, I'm looking at Olokun and I'm thinking, well, I think it would probably help us just get a better handle on the ship and what's happening here if the space-time fold was smooth. Whether the ship will be flyable or the folks in it will be still in whatever corporeal state, but I think it'll be tricky for us to try to unfold things unless we know for sure we can control the fold. Yes? No? What do we think?
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds.
I don't know what thing you just said, but I'm saying yes. Positive energy. Affirmation.
I don't quite understand either, but sure.
All right. I'm going to run this a little like the way we do ship combat. Everyone, we are going to collectively decide what flavor of role this is going to be. I will need everyone to explain to me how they contribute, preferably in character narrating. And we're going to roll and take the top roll, and anything under a 6, well, don't do that, please.
Why would you say that?
And if you're gonna fail, don't.
Definitely start with an explosion first. Love it.
Starting with a bang, I like it.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
So how do you go about doing this?
Yeah, so, it shouldn't be too difficult. All I really need to do is align the nanocore, recalibrate the atomic manifold, yes, and then really just extend the isometric dampener, and that should give us basically a quantum EMP. Basically.
All right, as you build the quantum EMP, Nepter, Bernard, and Banshee, how do you help?
I am physically pushing things together, like when like there's like things that need to be clasped shut and there's a lot of pressure happening. So I'm the one who's doing the like moving, like holding things together to like make things line up perfectly and be smooth and be stable.
I'm gonna go up to Bernard and say, how plausible would it be, do you think, with like the cool stuff that you can do, that you can sort of maybe watch the effects of what happens when the thing goes off? So like if you talk to the machine and then you it can sort of give you like a rundown on how it's feeling while it goes off. Would that hurt you? Would that hurt? But you're not in the quantum space, so I think it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure.
You want me to become the bomb for a bit? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. I mean, could you become? No, I'm focused. You could like talk to the ship, like you do the ship thing again, and when the bomb goes off.
Yes.
Yeah, you can like keep a smooth track of seeing what's happening to the ship itself to see what exactly it does, and so if the bomb doesn't work, then we know how to move forward.
Yes. I do hear what you mean. Yes. Thank you so much for asking. This is a very clever idea, and so what I'm going to do to help with the ship is as Olokun describes each one of the moments of like the technobabble of like we put this and this and this. What I'm going to do is again project my face onto the ship, and I'll sort of like move towards the parts of the ship where those items or those like knobs or calibrating toggles are that Olokun is like referring to, and maybe Neptune can like hop over and like adjust it here, and I'll just be like, yep, over here, 3% up, great, fantastic, and okay, great, now decrease this by 45 degrees and increase that by 17.4 degrees. Excellent, moving it along. And so I'm just kind of my like face is bouncing around different walls and panels, while my like body maybe is just like padding along, and Neptune is helping out. So yeah, so that'll be my thing.
I'm gonna have everyone roll. Bernard, I think you have the ability for when you're interfacing with technology, you get a plus for that. Am I correct?
I do, yes.
And then Olokun, because you used Technobabble, you will also be adding a +1 for that roll. And I think you also have the jerry rig you're using for this.
Yes. Which allows me to use my brains, which with my level up, I took a +1 to brain, so now that's 2.
Heck yeah.
It was like +3, correct?
Yeah. The last thing I'm going to ask: do you consider this to be this? Do you consider Plan Big Bomb to be fight, fly, talk, trick, or repair?
Man, I have explosives, so that's what I was thinking. But which was the?
I think it's trick, because we're trying to we're trying to basically create like a thing. I don't know why. I think maybe I'm wrong.
No, I was also feeling trick.
Actually, you know what? Now that I said that out loud, I'm rethinking it. I think fly, because the description of fly is extraordinary maneuvers that push the limits of the ship's capabilities. So I think we are pushing the limits of like what's physically possible by trying to create a bomb that creates an EMP.
How do we feel about fly?
I agree with that.
Awesome. So everyone's going to roll their courage, and for the people who have the bonuses, you will use your bonuses as offered.
Awesome.
All right. What did everyone get?
So remember when you said don't fail? I heard fail.
You had one job.
I got a 5.
Okay.
Which also means that I just leveled up.
Did you roll it mid-session after leveling up? Rad. Love this.
Yeah.
Neptune, what'd you get?
I got a 7. 7.
Okay. Bernard, please.
I got a 10.
All right. All right.
I also got a 10.
You got a 10?
Yep.
Rad. Okay. So happy. So, for R5, unfortunately, you are going to take a condition as this, as Operation Big Bomb happens. All of you work in tandem, starting to create the as Olokun hammers out the bomb itself. Banshee, you're assisting kind of like a surgery assistant, where Olokun is, asking you to hold things together here and here. And in that moment, just you are the last one to be holding the bomb piece. as you set the firework off and you run. You just run a little slower because you were holding everything together. So you'll take a condition from that. Nepter and Bernard, you are also a little slow, not as slow as Banshee was, as you are scampering to... Actually, Bernard, you got a 10, never mind. Nepter, you are a little slow as you are also scampering away. You're not going to take a condition, but just a little bit of bruising and scraping as the bomb goes off. But you do pull it off. You'll get a ship investment for this. In this case, it doesn't quite count because it's not an actual ship move, but you do pull it off. The bomb goes off. Olokun, is it a traditional big boom? Is it like a metaphysical boom? What happens?
It's a bright boom, followed by like a wave of energy. Not really enough to as long as you're far enough away from it, not enough to knock you on your ass, but definitely you'll feel it as it reverberates outward.
And you guys, because there were 2 successes on this, I will say the big boom happens and you hear in the forest a bunch of people, or not a bunch of people, but a handful of people also get thrown back. So the encroaching other groups, you have successfully pushed them away as well. However, you do... nothing seems to change within the ship. Everything kind of rattles and shakes. And there's a moment where everyone's, yeah, okay. And then it flickers. Nothing seems to happen. You do get the sense that as the ship kind of stabilizes from just the shaking, you'd been able to interact with a little bit, but you were dealing with pieces of it disappearing and reappearing. Now the parts that are flickering are all in unison. So something you've done is successful in that you've stabilized so things aren't flickering out of sync. So you've gone one step closer.
Somewhat successful.
And you've beaten back you've bought yourself a little bit of time from your the other treasure hunters.
Olokun, that was spectacular. That was fascinating. It seems we're making some progress. What do we think, gang? That was great. Should we do it again? That's really exciting.
Probably not going to help so much again.
I would like to blow more stuff up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, later.
But yes, I got stuff for you. Don't worry. Okay. Well, everything at least is in unison, so it might be a little easier to interact with the ship as it fades in.
What if we try the defold, but Bernie edition? You do the interface and then you can maybe defold it because you're so cool.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Yes. All right. I am a little. I'm a little worried about. I've never done quite a kind of a big inside out job like this, so I just have to warn you. This might look even weirder than usual. So.
Bernard, it is already as weird as it's going to get today.
Oof, you say that now, Betsy. Okay.
20 minutes ago, I was a rainbow dancer on the front of a ship hanging onto the narwhal horn. It's a weird day.
And you looked really cool.
Well, actually, that makes me realize something. I'm going to be deep in there, so if Olokun, could you possibly do some kind of a tracer or trail something, just in case I get really lost in there? You guys, you all could follow. I just don't want to lose my face again. You know what I mean? You did such a cool job of those prismatic sparkles that were coming off of Banshee so mightily. Is there something you could do similar for my face as I go in?
I mean, I don't know if it'll affect the electronics once you're in, but could try. Looking through my bag.
What if we do like a digital firework tracker? Like, if we use like where's my bag? Like, I'm taking my bag. Like a little one of our sort of tablets, and we connect it sort of to the ship, and we could sort of, with your really cool hardware stuff and my slightly software engineering things that I took a couple classes on and then made a really cool app one time. I think maybe we could make something where it's like you make like it's a not a GPS, the beepy thing, a tracker, like a tracker where you can sort of see where the person is going while they're in the tracker, except it'll be specifically for the system. And so we can see how deep Bernie goes in the system and see exactly where they are at those certain points in the system.
So you could follow my face in the system as you're looking at the screen.
Yeah, and then if we gotta pull you out, then Banshee's really strong.
All right.
I have pulled your face out of the machine once today. I will do it again.
Thank you so much.
Also, we could use your kittens to triangulate your location at all times as well. If your kitten stays with Nepter and their beacon machine, and then one stays on the machine and doesn't go inside, then we could triangulate between the two of them and your energy.
Yes. Yes. But I believe Zig and Zag are hard at work making repairs back on the ship. But
right, I forgot that. Sorry.
No, not at all. And I dislodge these two crystals. But you can put these inner ear crystals, and you'll be able to communicate with them directly if you'd like. And I give them to Nepter and to Banshee or Alokun. Who would
Banshee takes one and just starts talking to the cats, and it's just lots of who's a good baby.
Oh my God! Is it us? Is it us?
It's you.
You can put the crystal in, and you just hear, "Are we getting to use the crystal again? Bernard took it away when we tried to do karaoke in them."
I would never stop you from doing karaoke.
I don't know if you regret it, but you do hear one of them immediately break out into their rendition of the metal music that you were playing earlier, which is wild when it is 4 octaves up in tiny kitten voice.
Just take a look at me, and what do you think? Do you think Banshee regrets that, or do you think Banshee is all for it?
Yes. So all of this in the background has baby metal happening, as sung by a tiny green kitten.
Yeah. I'm not sure having them in our ear does what I was guessing, which is like triangulating the energy, but I love it anyway.
I think it gives us emotional support.
Yeah.
they could be like on board our ship, kind of like actively.
That works.
Keeping track of us.
We have backup help from
Zig
and Zag on the ship, even though they are also singing baby metal.
Yes. So Alokun, does that work? Can you make a little digital firework prismatic tracker?
Not to say that I don't like the faith in me, but I think you are both giving me a little too much credit when it comes to electronics. I make electronics go boom very nice. Making a firework tracker seems a little bit outside of my expertise.
Olakun, I will not have you besmirch your own capabilities. You have made our ship fly faster than any ship has ever flown before. You created sparkly pajamas for me to dance in front of the ship with. You have skills, and I will not allow you to besmirch them.
Skills. Yeah, you know what? Yes. Banshee, thank you. Always looking out for me.
All right, then. as everyone takes their positions to, let me see if I have this right. Send Bernard to interface with the ship with a sparkle tracker, digital
Yes.
sparkle tracker. Banshee, what are you doing for this?
I think that I'm probably, now that we've introduced Zig and Zag into it, I think that I'm like, also I think that like, if Bernard, I think that if you're like worried about your whole self going into this machine, I think that like I might like be holding on to you as like an anchor, like as a physical anchor to you, like to the real world. It's like your whole, like I know you're like it's like normally it's just your face, and if you're worried about like more of you going in, I'm gonna be there to like hold you back a little bit.
Yeah, I think my concern is I somehow will sever the connection with my body permanently and just will become the ship. Like somehow that'll be my body now. So I'm a little concerned about that possibility, if that's a possibility.
It wasn't until you said it.
You know, if I roll 2 1s or something.
Oh, you put it in the air!
And Nepter, what are you, remind me exactly what you're doing again?
So Nepter's, apparently I'm not allowed to have a scarf. Nepter's, contribution is essentially to make a app, sort of. They're doing the software part of this sort of tracker.
Okay.
They're working in tandem with Olokun. Nepter has I have a lot of experience with hacking, actually.
Amazing.
It's a skill that hasn't really come up until now. So, now's a great time. That is what I will be doing. I have like a little tablet that I brought with me, and I will be connecting it to the ship with some like wires and things like that, and I'll be working with Olokun to essentially have a physical thing that is connected to the software that I will be sort of creating to make us be able to track Bernard's progress and how deep they are in the ship, and their sort of connection to the ship itself.
All right.
Yeah, and reality.
And reality. All right. As a group, fight, fly, talk, trick, or repair.
I hate to say it because my brains are my worst stat, but it does feel like a repair to me. It does feel like
Yeah, it does feel like a repair.
it feels pretty tech heavy. So
Yeah.
All right. So it is a repair roll. Banshee, you do get help because you are in contact with Zig and Zag.
yes.
Bernard, you have the Zig and Zag benefit as well, so you both have your little +1s. Is anyone else using any abilities or backgrounds that might help them?
Will Jerry Rig work again?
I think so. This is pretty jerry rigged. This whole energy,
Cool.
and it's a
That's
repair.
what I was feeling. Even more so than my last roll.
I am recalibrating the primary sensor grid to have a consistent pulsar signature, so that is connected to Bernard. I will keep going. I'll do a full paragraph with the technobabble. Don't.
Thumb wrestle in a Starbucks parking lot, Kimmy.
The good
All
news
right.
for you is only one of us has that ability left now. So
That's true. That's true. You can't just keep pressing that button.
until the next scene, anyway.
Until the next scene. All right. All right. I'm too nice. Roll your dice.
I got a 9 this time, so I'm happier than I was.
Nepter, what'd you get?
I got a 9.
9. All right. Bernard, what did you get?
I got an 11.
Okay. And Olokun.
I got a 6.
Oh.
And because I used the skill, it does say a specific thing for a 6 or it goes terribly wrong. Mark 2 conditions and describe a very loud thing that happens. It also says mark a new ship damage. I don't know if that's gonna
Well.
thing, but yeah. Guys give it. The guys taketh away.
A little peek behind the curtain. This was the one I had decided worked. Olokun, I'm gonna add insult to injury. You tell me what goes wrong.
Yeah. So I am, once again pulling out wires. Okay, you're gonna connect some software, so you need some hardware. We're just trying to connect some things, and I think there's a very audible crackle, and I feel like either there's a very large spark, or that whatever power is kind of flickering in and out with the ship just completely dies. I pulled the wrong wire.
You cut all power to the ship, which does actually which does sort of help the solution, because now the ship has stopped flickering. It is completely inert. There is no crew around. You do hear, and Bernard, your success saved you from getting stuck on the inside of the ship. So you are able to return back to your body. You have stabilized the ship. You are successful. However, in cutting the power, you're not noticing any of the anomalies. And from behind you, or from outside, you can hear, "We found it! Oh my gosh, we found it! We're going to be rich!" As one of the other treasure hunting parties has also stumbled upon the ship.
I think Olokun's first thought is, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Where did the other people go? What happened to the other people? Did I just hurt a whole bunch of people by accident? Did I hurt them to the point where they might not be coming back? What the fuck did I just do?
So, Bernard, in interfacing with the ship, for a brief moment, you saw the crew. You saw the whole group. You saw Darryl Dale for a second, looking at you, very confused. You saw his girlfriend, I guess, a former piano teacher and school teacher who was swayed by his sweet words and followed him along. You saw a couple of other rough rapscallions who he traveled around with, and they all see you for a second, and you hear for just a brief moment, "It's that damn cat again!" before they disappear and you're left on the empty, quiet ship. You get the sense when that happened, you get the sense that the ship is fine, in that, like, the ship is now here. The people are on the other side of wherever, but the ship is here. So at this point, you could probably, if you can get power to the ship, download the credits from its system. The people are gone. And you should if you want to tell Olokun that, you can. You could try getting them back. That will be a whole second thing, because again, as you come back to your body, you hear this other party excitedly stumbling on the ship.
I return to my body, and you see my fur is standing up. I'm back arched. I think I'm really leaning into my angry condition. And I think it's someone referring to me as I understood that them referring to me as that dang cat is that nuisance like a lot of other things start coming back to me. The moments when I was not treated as a fully sentient creature. So I do see red, I think, and I right away turn to Olokun, and I turn to him and I say, Olokun, I want to blow this whole stupid ship up. I hate it here. Hate it. They got rid of me. They didn't think anything of me, Olokun. But I don't want to blow this ship up until we get what we deserve. We work too dang hard, and I refuse to spend another moment thinking about how they wasted me or what my life could have been like. Let's get the credits and blow this stupid ship up.
Wait. Did you see the people disappeared? Did you see them? Did you see where they went?
No, I didn't see where they. But they left. They didn't. I don't know. They just left. They didn't vaporize or explode or anything like that. They just left.
But what does left mean? I mean, are they alive or are they dead? Are they alive or are they dead?
Olokun, I don't know. I don't think that they're dead, but I definitely don't want to go looking for them. I don't know where they went.
No, this can't. No,
wait.
I can't leave you here. It can't be on me. It cannot.
Bernard Shelley.
I'm gonna try to I'm starting pulling wires and I'm gonna try to fix whatever I feel like I can fix.
Your anxiety comes from being cast aside, thrown away like you don't matter. Correct?
I suppose yes.
We are not judged by the worst things that they do to us. We are judged by the best things we do for ourselves and others. You are a better being than them. So you do not treat them as poorly as they treated you. You treat them the way you should have been treated. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kicking off our third hypothesis, which was the using to pull everything out at once. And because Bernard was talking about weapons, it made me think of this out of character. I'm going to start going to the ship's weapons system, and I'm basically going to try to use their weapons to create a ship-size version of my staff. So I'm basically trying to use their weapons to be a power inverter system. And so that's my goal, is to use the weapons to, and it just so happens that when I took my advancement, I took the ability that lets me use body for weapons, which is funny because I didn't even think this was going to come into play right now. I thought it was going to be used for fighting later. But yeah, I think so. I think this is going to be, I'm just going to say, before we can get into the ship move, we're going to use his body. But I'm going to see what everybody else's thoughts are. But basically, yeah, Banshee is basically turning the ship into a giant version of her kinetic staff.
That's so fucking rad.
The idea is then it's going to pull everybody back from where they are onto the ship, and go, they will come back and they will face justice for what they did, not just to you, but to all the people on that asteroid belt. And it is not up to us to execute them for those crimes. It is up to us to bring them to face justice for them.
I think, can I propose that before, when I was talking to Olokun and we were not able to see eye to eye, that was a connect move, but we were not able to make a connection?
Is this so that you can get XP?
How does that feel to you, Olokun? Yeah. As Banshee really feels like it kind of confronts me, I kind of pounce, kind of run after her, following her as she's doing her thing, and I say, fine, but I get to talk to them. I get to tell them what I think. Hey, I deserve to feel angry too, okay? And I kind of as I follow along in an effort to maybe help you out with whatever it is. So we can call that as tolerable stalemate, perhaps?
Yeah.
We just agree to disagree. Great. I run back to Olokun and I say, however this goes, Olokun, we are able to get the score. So think of at least what you could do with that to do good for someone else. If whatever happens here weighs heavy on you.
I'm gonna say that Olokun is now seeing red, because for me, that felt like, hey, if they die, at least we have the money. And that touched a nerve. Also going to say his courage is crashed, taken to conditions in that. But yeah, I am seeing red. Listen, I don't care about the money. I cannot have all those deaths on me. The people that we want, the people who are outside, the people who are in here, I cannot have those deaths on me. If that means giving up the money, I don't give a shit. I will give it up to make sure that I save them.
Lokun, those people... They... Okay, they discarded me. Okay, we can move... If we can move past that, they've also tricked and sabotaged planet and community after community. These aren't nice creatures. They'll keep doing this. The reason everyone's coming here is because these are very, very wanted, unlawful individuals. That... I don't know how you resolve and how you feel about doing good by people who do bad by others, but at least there's something to be said about that. There are others who deserve your compassion more.
Listen, Bernard. Everyone's the hero of their own story. And everyone's a villain in everyone else's. I'm not saying what they did to you was right. And I'm not saying you shouldn't feel angry, upset, sad, mad. Whatever you are feeling, that is your right to feel that. All I am saying is that I am not judge, jury, and executioner. I was that before. I will not be that again. And if these people get their retribution, if you get your retribution, so be it. But I have to keep my hands clean.
Bernard is completely kind of stunned by that. And I think this is a thing that for me makes me kind of wildly aware of my my weirdness, my kind of like detachment from regular community. And so like this is a little element of feeling responsibility for a larger group than myself. And so I take a few steps back and nod. So, what do we do? What do we do now?
I don't know. I have to try to fix this. Baby, find Banshee. It seems like she had an idea. It might work better than me just scrambling through wires. But Bernard, I know at times you feel like the odd one out, the weird one, an outsider. Hey, guess what? You're just like the rest of us. And those feelings is what we all feel. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I can't help but smile at that and sort of embrace the idea that we all have very strange things that set us off and make us feel right or wrong with the world. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's do that. Let's do both. Let's do both. Let's see it through and. Okay, I'll help however you feel like I can help.
I feel like that's either like a connect or a confront or something.
I think that was a good connect, right?
Yeah, I think by the end, that was a good.
However, as we leave that moment of connection, we had a scene with we had something from Banshee before we move on to the next.
I didn't want to interrupt, but in that conversation, it was brought up that these pirates that we're in this ship with stole from everybody on these asteroids, right? And we are so now I'm gonna cut back in now as Banshee in the scene. Okay. Something has occurred to me in this conversation. Now, I am not a treasure hunter by trade, and I know that Jenny is, and I respect the captain quite a bit, but you made a good point that the credits that are on this ship do not belong to the people that flew this ship. The credits that are on the ship belong to the citizens of all the asteroids that we left. So, as much as I like the idea of making the captain happy, I don't think we can keep these credits. I think we have to take them back to the asteroids that we came from and give it back to those communities. Now, some members of those communities are coming, and they might take them, but I don't think they belong to any one individual or one person. I think this wealth needs to be redistributed back to the people who it originally belonged to. This money was intended to better those societies and to better that home, and if we take it and run off with it, or we give it to another pirate, or let these pirates have it, we're as bad as the ones who are trapped on that warp core right now. So, this can't be a score for us. This has to be a returning mission.
Yeah, I think we're right there with you.
We are. We are.
And then I go back to doing what I was doing, which was like figuring the weapons that are around me to like turn them into a big giant staff.
All right. If everyone is on board to try this final surprise hypothesis, slash this third hypothesis, I just need to know again what everyone's doing to contribute and what role you think this is. I will say, as you are working on setting this last piece up, this other crew has started to figure out, has found the ship and is also assessing the situation. So, if you're inside, there's sort of as you guys are having this argument, there are people who are just trying to like move rubble aside so they can get it as well.
Well, first thing, I think we need to make sure we secure those credits, because I think we don't want the other people getting them. So, like, once those are secure, my pitch is this is a body roll, because we're using the ship's weapons. I think that basically what we're trying to do is redirect the ship's, like, weapons systems and turn them into a way of, like, almost like a slingshot, is the best way I can describe it, to, like, take the people that are on the other side of this warp bubble, sort of, and pull them to where we are. Like, so basically, like, that was the third hypothesis, was to yank it all there at once. So we're basically doing that, but with just the pirate crew. And the idea is basically, like, I think the goal here is to get this crew to this side so that everyone can take them captive. So that they can face real justice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Olokun, Bernard, Nepter, how do you assist Banshee in turning the whole ship into a kinetic staff?
I think for myself, I would be either like basically providing an extra set of hands for Banshee. Banshee definitely taking the lead on this. So if she says, okay, move that here, connect that, I'm doing it. If there just needs to be, I picture Banshee as like kind of yoked. Is Banshee yoked? Okay, thought so. Olokun's definitely like leaner. So if there just needs like, you need a leaner hand to reach something, definitely that's what Olokun's gonna do for her. Right, yeah. I think you're definitely more yoked than me.
So, I am... Before I start, just for me to understand properly, make sure I'm understanding, this Banshee's idea is to get enough power to then be able to bring the people back, right? Is that the idea? To
Yeah,
put power in the ship?
it was the other hypothesis that we had, which was like to yank everything out of the warp bubble, basically, or the warp field. And so I'm basically using the ship's weapons the same way my kinetic staff works. My staff like redirects energy, and so that's what I'm basically turning the ship's weapon into a similar kind of kinetic weapon. So basically, instead of being like an assault weapon, it's just an energy vacuum, basically. Yeah.
So, my contribution is essentially, I'm gonna follow this idea that Banshee has, but I'm gonna help it from like an outer source. I'm going to like use all maybe like spare batteries or energy cores, the backup reserves that are backup for the backup reserves. I'll use my own little like the little gadgets or little like extra batteries I carry for things like this to help reroute to provide more energy for this program. And as I'm doing it, I have like a bunch of my own little sort of USB plugs that I am sort of connecting to all the different weapon sources and stuff. And as I'm doing that, I'll just say out loud, gang, I've been really scared. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like the air has been heavy, or there have been things that are different, and a lot of words are said, and I'm sorry I didn't come in sooner. I was really angry, and I'm gonna be very honest about that. I'm angry because I don't really know what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. A lot of the time, actually. I say I know what I'm doing and I'm a genius, but I don't know what I'm doing. And, I think I want us to be, I don't know, more... We don't know what we're doing. We're connecting weapons together to make a reverse thingy, to do a really cool thingy, and I think that's awesome, but also I don't know if anyone's ever done that before. And I'm really thankful for you guys, because no one else would really take me in. So, I really like you all as a crew, and I don't want anybody to be like, you know, not like each other. And I know you guys like each other because you're all grown people, I think. And, oh, wait, I dropped something. Okay, that doesn't matter. That doesn't have anything in anyway. I'm Nepter, and I really care about you guys a lot. So even if I'm really angry, and I sort of don't agree, or I'm sort of scared, and a little off of what we're doing, I'm still gonna follow you guys, because I think that's what a crew should do, because I really care about you guys, and I don't want this to be a bad thing, so I'm gonna connect this wire, and I'm not gonna freak out. I dropped the battery again, but I'm helping. Just tell me what to do.
Yeah, I think this feels very much like a trust me. You're stepping up and taking the lead. You're going to roll 2d6, and you can spend an additional up to 3 trust on yours to get a +1 for each trust you spend. And yeah.
I will say beforehand, I think just for this moment, I will spend 3 trust. I'll put 3 trust on the line because
right.
I'm putting myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice to me.
Heck yeah. Amazing. You only need to you only need to get above a 7, and you get all of your spent trust back. So you get your 3 back. And you'll earn an additional trust, and your crewmates will clear a condition. So everyone else gets to clear a condition for this moment. So yeah, clear your conditions, and
Well, we get to decide how we feel about it.
oh, that's true, you do.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that you didn't get it back from me because you also questioned my idea in the middle of your speech. So I liked it, but you did say this is just a crazy thing that you're thinking about doing, whereas like I was like really excited about this plan of mine. So I'm going to say that for me, so I mark an XP because I did not feel like I was supported there. But, yeah.
I misread the thing. You're correct,
Yeah.
completely correct.
Yeah, I feel like basically you always get agency over your character and how they feel about things.
That is true.
Yeah, so like dice can never decide how your character feels. Out of character, I loved it. In character, You said the exact like worst thing you can say. You said a thing in your speech that is my seeing red conditions. So
Yeah, no, I totally get it. You're so
Bernard, Olokun, are you on board with Nepter?
Lokun, I am on board. Yeah, everything you say, I feel like at the very end, I was just like, oh god, that was like me when I was younger. But they're trying, so I'm with you.
Yeah, I think you get it back from me too. I kind of rearranged the way I was gonna help out here, and I think I mostly curl up at your feet, and then I hail Zig and Zag on the little crystal earbud, and have them kind of look up like, weapons manuals and kind of like to sort of like help us guide the process and like.
So most of them, rather. So if most of your crew is inspired, your crewmates will clear a condition if they support you, and will mark the XP if they don't. So Banshee XP, the other two will clear conditions, and but you will earn trust back per crewmate, so you will earn 2 trust back.
Got it.
Banshee, you are going to turn this ship into an extension of your favorite weapon. Bernard Olakun, you're on board, you're ready to do this. We've decided, what did we decide as a ship rule this was going to be?
Body.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know the drill. We've done this twice. We've done this a couple times now.
Yeah.
All right. Olakun, what did you get?
So I rolled 2 6s,
Hell yeah.
a 2, for 14 total.
I love when the dice are ready to tell a story. Bernard, what did we get?
I just think that I got really in the weeds with Zig and Zag, and they were just looking up stuff that like, outdated space Wikipedia articles on weapons, etc. We're looking at a 5 here, folks. We're looking at just
Duh.
Yes.
Nectar.
I got a 12.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
And Banshee.
I got a 10.
Well, it works. It heckin' works. The dice are on your side, and with 3 major successes, I am going to say that this works above and beyond a little bit. And yes, there is the ship hums with the stored energy, and it is just at the right time that the rival crew that is trying to get into this ship hits the ship as well with their own explosive. As you flick everything online, and that explosion happens, and it is absorbed by the ship's weapon system, and there is a huge kinetic blast, throwing the rival crew back, rattling all of you at a frequency that, for a moment, I don't know what structures you have with internally, but rattling your bones. You can feel it in your teeth and behind your eyes, this high-pitched humming or vibration, as you think for a moment like, oh, everything's blurry, everything seems out of focus, as the crew who has gathered around Darryl start to shake into being, sort of as if someone has hit a tuning fork, that high-pitched tinnitus sound, as they come into tune. And they all looked as shocked as you do. The blast has thrown away the other crew, so like I don't have to worry about them anymore, or not for a minute. You have accidentally continued to stop the other thing I've been trying to throw at you. But they stand in front of you, and Bernard, I will have you take the condition for the 5. But they look as shocked as you.
I look around and realize how quite capable my team is. But I make eye contact with Darryl and the other crew, and I say, well, this is awkward. It appears that some trash can be salvaged occasionally. Which is more than perhaps you deserve. But I believe that I'm not the only one that has ill feelings towards you, Darryl Dale. And you, and I point to the piano teacher and go, I have no idea who you are. I hope you're having an okay time, and I'm sorry you were in the middle of this. The rest of these, I've never liked.
The piano teacher, oh god, I didn't come up with a name. Darian goes, how dare! I never! And flounces off. Yeah, Darryl looks mad. He points a finger at you and he says, you doubted me from the start, and I got all of these credits fair and square. I tricked everyone. I deserve this. I worked hard. Go for it.
Can I just hit him?
Oh, go for it. Just roll a body.
That's an 11.
Is this
a force is necessary?
Hell yes.
So let's see here. Force is necessary. Let's see here. Where's that at? With an 11. Yeah, your opponent takes 2 hits and I am unscathed.
Honestly, you have not gotten to hit enough things during this adventure.
I agree. I think I sweep him with my staff, I sweep his legs, and then I hold the staff down to his face, and I say, it would do you well to cease speaking now. Unless you're going to say sorry to my friend Bernard Shelley, who is unworthy of the terrible treatment you have given them.
In this moment, Darryl Dale, who has a reputation for being a con artist and, this slimy little greaseball of a man, you look down at this humanoid who is... There's no universal beauty standard. There's no universal beauty standard in that. And so across all of your different cultures and all of your different species, no one could say someone is handsome or someone is ugly. The thing that you look down and you look at Darryl Dale and you see is true ugliness in a person who believes that they are so much better than everybody else that they can take whatever they want. And he looks at you and he looks at Bernard, and the pure disgust on his face at being asked to answer for something he did to somebody else renders him the ugliest thing you've ever seen. And his lip curls and he just says, I don't owe anyone anything.
As he says that, now that they're back and I'm not concerned over their lives anymore, I would like to find, literally, I want to do it in his face, but without asking for permission. I want to find the credits. I want him to see me finding the credits that they stole.
You're a tall guy, right?
Yeah.
You're just gonna go after him?
The credits, yeah.
They're on his person. He has the credit stick on him. You can actually see around his neck. Like I said, these are a bunch of USBs. You see a little necklace of USB sticks. You don't know how many. They're flat. You don't know how many asteroids, how many towns he hit, but the number based on his necklace is probably 70 different little towns. That range, 70 to 80.
I like to then reach down and look him in the eyes as I'm grabbing the chips around his neck and say, well, a thief can't be mad when their ill-gotten gain is stolen, right? And just snatch it off his neck.
Yeah. Little worm man does not fight you. He is,
If he tries to, I'm going to push my staff down into him while he takes the things away.
Yeah, he actually truly when it comes to the money or his own well-being, 1,000% he picks his own well-being, and he'd pick it over anything else.
Yeah. And I would like to give it to Bernard and say, here you go. I feel like it'll sting the most if you give the money back.
Thank you, Olokun.
I turn to Bernard and go, this man is not worthy of the rent-free home he has in your head.
Thank you, Banshee.
I look at the pirates, like not the pirate, the citizens of the asteroid where he robbed, and I say, the prize will go back to the community, but this crew is all yours. And like I'm letting them have their justice. Like, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, the other crew that was thrown back by your solution have made it back on board, and it is you do see Scylla again. She has been escorting some people who are belters, like part of this space, and they all look at you and they're like, and Scylla sort of crosses her arms, looking at the pirate crew, and goes, if I recall, there is a reward for his discovery. And the rest of the crew looks at each other, and her crew looks at each other, and they think, all right. And they will, unless you stop them, will bodily start to take in the rest of the...
I look at Scylla, and I say, where do we stand?
Scylla seems to be happily manhandling someone as she's pushing them away, and she stops and she thinks and goes, I may have impugned your honor. I was speaking in the heat of the moment. However, I would rather duel you as if that is amenable to you by way of apology.
Oh, I'm totally down for that. Yeah.
When we are back, when we get back, we will fight. And she offers you the it's like
the Predator handshake.
Yeah, the Predator handshake.
Muscles bulging.
This is basically flirting. Yeah.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad someone else said it.
I will duel you so hard.
Both of Bernard's antennas are very curiously looking around. This is one of my connections. Is I want to observe banshees, understand these romantic interactions better.
I don't know that observing Banshee's romantic interactions are going to be great for everyone else, but
I think it is.
Taking notes.
It is.
Yeah, you guys, you have the credits. You were able to get the crew of the Amaryllis out. You were able to get Darryl Dale out, and I think it's safe to say you've sort of discovered the treasure of the Iris Belt, and also come to the end of the little adventure. We're going to speed up a little bit, if you do not mind. When you return to your ship, Zig and Zag have done as many of the repairs as they can. The ship is flyable. It's not in ideal condition. It is flyable. You'll probably have to spend some time in the belt to sort of get yourself back on track, to get yourself to a place where you can start really traveling again. Do you tell Jenny what happened with the credits?
Lokun doesn't.
I think Banshee probably does because she doesn't understand that she shouldn't. So, yeah. I think we maybe cut to Banshee explaining it, and I'm going I didn't think about the fact that there might be a bounty as well, and we could have taken the bounty on them if we had just done that. So I was being noble. I'm so sorry. I thought that I was doing the right thing, and I think I was with the credits, but I should have thought about bounties. Yes, I should have thought about bounties. I'm so sorry.
Jenny hears your story, and all I didn't establish how many tentacles she has. All 10 of her tentacles sort of tent as she thinks about this for a moment. She goes, "You mean to tell me that you had the credits in your grasp, the ones that were stolen from the all of the people, and you returned the means back, and you returned their money back to them?
Yes.
You get me. You get
The
it.
biggest sigh in the world. The biggest sigh.
This little weird aquatic communist octopus situation. She looks at you and she's, Banshee, you understand. And you get the mental, like, you also get the mental predator handshake. Yes, Nepter.
I just wanted to do one quick scene before we sped up too far.
Oh yeah.
This still probably happens after that happens. But I wanted to have a quick talk with Banshee specifically. So I think at some point Neptune would approach Banshee. And I have like, my posture is much more like, I'm trying to imitate Banshee's sort of confidence and posture essentially. And I approach and I say, Banshee, I would like to apologize to you. I don't know how you keep this project. Okay,
Practice.
practice. And that's the
I
thing.
like slide my staff behind you in a way that like you know, like the way like a ballet instructor would with like someone. Yeah.
And then I like laugh. I smile a little bit.
It's playful. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. I think for the longest time, I think I was angry at you, or maybe treated you in a weird way, because I sort of thought you didn't like me, or that you thought I was like a kid that was I don't know, that had to be like, you know, sort of kept watch over or told what to do, or like you always sort of giving me like advice, and advice is good and I always really appreciated it, but I think I never understood what honor meant to you, I think, because I think it means a lot of things different to me. So the way you spoke and the way you carry yourself, I think I was so nervous. I think I took that as an attack against me when you were just being you. And I don't think it's fair for me to, you know, I tell Bernie, you know, Bernie, you're Bernie, there's no one like you, you're amazing. And I look at Oloku and I'm like, yeah, Oloku, you're so cool, you're an inspiration, you're dope. But then I look at you and you're so you, and then I take that like it's like you don't respect me, but I think it was something about the conversation you had with your dual partner that sort of made it click a little bit, and I wanted to say I'm sorry, and I really respect you, and I actually think you're really cool. I didn't want you to think I was I wanted you to respect me more, but I think you did respect me the most, maybe. So,
Young Nepter, you say that I think of you as a kid, and I will admit there is truth to this statement. But I mean this as high praise. You see, as beings age, they begin to get stuck in their ways, and stubborn, and unwavering in believing they are right constantly. But you, Nepter, have not gained this level of frustration or stubbornness. You are, as they say, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you believe in yourself wholeheartedly. You have not allowed your ideals to be tempered by the world yet, and I find this to be a strength. See, when you are young, you have the whole world in front of you and the eagerness to explore it, and it's an admirable trait. Yes, I do try to teach you to stand up and be physically strong and fight, but I also understand that you fight with your brains and your emotional intelligence, and these are skills that I do not have, so I respect that you have them, and I am happy to teach you how to defend yourself physically whenever needed. But you must know that I have the utmost respect for the skills that you have, which are skills that I myself do not. And not unlike the way that Bernard is able to interface with computers, or the way that Olakun is able to blow up so many things, I feel that you are a vital and important member of this crew, and I have the utmost respect for you.
Banshee, what is, how do you feel about hugs?
I am for them.
Okay.
A hug is like a fight that comes to a draw.
Oh, then I welcome that. And I just run forward.
Two, and like she's still talking about it as you're hugging. Two competitors who are evenly matched and stand firm on the battlefield together. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And like she starts telling you about battles that she's been in that have come to draws and how she felt about them. And it's just there's a certain point where you're like, I got things to do.
You know the thing where like Disney princesses do this, where it's like you don't let go of a hug with a kid until they let go. At some point, Neptune's like, I let go. Bernard Olakun, where do we find you as we start to wrap up the this adventure?
Yeah, I think it would be. I seek out wherever Olakun is, and say, Olakun, you got another one of those medicinal things?
Sure. And I smack the wall, little compartment comes out. It actually has multiple sizes. It's not just like the same. It's like different. It's a couple different brands, and I choose one, give a little smell. So this should be good for you.
Oh, thank you. And I take it and I go. Shall we light up here?
Doesn't make a difference to me. Lights up.
Amazing, and start smoking, and Olakun, I think I have been learning to accept myself a lot more on this trip, and I was really moved by how well our team came together, and I realized that I might have put you in a tough situation when I wanted to disregard the cost of life during our mission, and I was kind of got ahead of myself, caught up in my own fraught memories and baggage, as they say. But you made me realize something that I really appreciate. We're all kind of fantastically strange in our own ways. It's what you do, I guess, with that strangeness. And so I wanted to ask you, what is it that you wish to accomplish with your gifts?
And you see me tinkering with something with materials that probably shouldn't have an open flame by them, but still doing it. He takes a big, deep drag, blows it out. You know, I don't really have plans like that anymore. Growing up, it was just trying to survive. My gifts are, I'm very good at taking life away. And for a while, that was enough. And I got to a point where it wasn't, where I felt like gifts should be used to help people rather than hurt. To an extent. Anyways, if I could just live the rest of my life having weird adventures, that'd be enough. And I finished tinkering with what I got. It's a little cylindrical item. And I go, what about you? What do you want to do with the rest of your life?
Well, I think I want to see as much of this wild universe as possible. I want to see it all. I think there's just so much out there. I don't want to settle on any one thing. So, I don't know. I'm kind of glad we're both aboard this ship together. Seems, yeah, I don't know. I'm just as curious about what's out there.
I didn't like you at first. Like, I really didn't like you.
Cool.
I didn't like the fact that
Cool.
you didn't know where you came from.
Oh.
Like, if you don't know who you are, how am I supposed to know who you are?
Oh.
But that's the thing. And spending time with you, I kind of realized this. You're not really anyone for very long. People change. People grow and change their minds about certain things and learn things and forget things. And by this time tomorrow, we'll be completely different people. And that's okay. I think as long as you can throw your trust behind somebody, that's good enough.
I think it is good enough. I think it's great, actually.
And I'm going to toss the cylindrical thing to you. Please don't drop it.
Do you want me to roll for it? No, just kidding.
No, please don't. I really don't want you to drop it.
Okay, I gotcha.
Let's grab the others.
Sounds great.
All right, Banshee and Nepter. And when we find them, we go, Banshee, I promised you something a little while ago. Would you like to do the honors?
I stop hugging Nepter, and then I come over to get the. Yeah. What is this?
Put it in the tube that leads to our little blowhole.
I do it.
That sounded so wrong. I'm sorry.
I am for it.
And you put it in, close the hatch, and it takes like 10 seconds. And then there's gonna be a slight hum that kind of comes from that tube. And if you look out or look at our sensors, you'll see that coming from the spout of our whale train, using the rest of the little material I got from picking up from the meteorite, it's going to leave a trail of that iridescent rainbow color flowing from it as we head off into places unknown.
That is so perfect. All right. I think that's the perfect place to leave us. Thank you so much for joining us for the Treasure of the Iris Belt, a Starscape adventure here on Queen's Court Games. Once again, I'm going to go around and introduce our amazing cast, starting with Garrett.
Hello, my name is Garrett. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky at Black Riku. That's BLKRIKU. You can also find me on YouTube at the channel Gare Bear Stare, where we like to look at old cartoons and animation, do deep dives into those. You can also find me on the podcast Vintage Anime Podcast, where we do the same thing. We take a look at old anime and then we like to do a deep dive into that. You can pretty much find us wherever you can find podcasts, I think outside of Spotify, but I think we're also trying to fix that. So on any of those places, say hi. I try to respond when I can, especially on the videos and on our podcast. So, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Next, I am going to pick on Riley.
Hey everybody, I'm Riley Silverman. You can find me on Instagram and Threads, and I think Blue Sky as Riley Silverman. And you can listen to me on 5 seasons of the Game of Rassilon podcast, where I was both the doctor and the GM as the show went on. We have a new podcast launching soon called Good Chaotic. You can find Good Chaotic that you can find on your right now social media feeds, and then we're going to be launching the podcast sometime later this year. And then also, I am actually the writer for a pop culture trivia podcast called Troubled Waters, that it's on the Maximum Fun Podcast Network. I've been the head writer on that show for quite a while now, several years, and I really love doing it. And yeah, we're still going strong, and we actually have special guest Daniel Radford, who has been writing for us for 2 months, because we have one of our other writers, is John Luke Roberts, is currently in the UK doing. He lives in the UK, so it's not that hard of a trip for him. But doing all of his ever previous shows at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, he's doing them all at once, and so he's been out of the commission. So we brought in Danielle to be a guest writer for us, which has been great so far. So the 2 episodes from July and August will have Danielle on them. But I'm rambling now. But it's quite a lot of fun. It's a pop culture trivia game show. Hosted by Dave Holmes of MTV and Esquire fame. It's quite a fun show to do, and I'm the writer for it. So check that out.
Why are you so cool? Next up, playing Nepter, Danny.
Hi, it's me, Danny's Corner, who's playing Nepter, no last name. I had such a good time here. I almost got emotional at the end, so I'm gonna do my best not to do that, not to get emotional now. You can find me on Twitter at Animated Pizza, and then everywhere else on Twitch and YouTube at Danny's Corner, where on Twitch I stream a bunch of stuff. I do gameplays, I draw live, I do some roleplay content over there. It's a good time. And over on my YouTube, I upload stuff. Sometimes animations, sometimes videos when I feel like it. Yeah, if you wanna see where I'm next at in my TTRPG universe ventures, I most likely will post about it on Twitter, but I have a little document that you can find linked in the about page of my Twitch that has a sort of reference guide to all the past TTRPG stuff, most of them, that I have been a part of. So if you want to see other stuff I've been a part of, or I'm currently am a part of, you can check that out. But yeah, besides that, I have commissions open, so you can check out my Ko-Fi if you want to pay me to draw art, because I like drawing, and I also like money. And, I feel like that's a good combination. But yeah, thank you for having me. I had such a good time. You guys are so cool.
So glad. And last but not least, playing Bernard Shelley, it is Happy Jacks RPG's very own Artem.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Artem. You can find me on Instagram at Artem directly, where you'll find a link to a bunch of stuff that I'm working on. There's a bunch of actual plays that I've been involved with, and a few more that are coming out. I had such a great time with y'all here. This was so fun. I'm also a theater director and just a TTRPG fan of all sorts. So you'll probably find me at some cons and at some communities here in LA playing live games. And I have new episodes of my food and movie show coming out soon on YouTube and on podcast forum. It is called Scary Movie and a Sandwich. It is a hard-hitting, timely show where I complement scary movies with sandwiches, and I talk about their various meanings and layers. So check that out. And all of that is at Artem directly on Instagram. Thank you so much for having me.
Hell yeah. As a person with controversial sandwich takes, I am so scared of your show. Anyway, and I am Clara. I have been the game master tonight. Yes. I am Clara. I've been the game master tonight. I'm all over the internet as clearly_golden, as well as mermaid_clarity if you're into mermaids and you sometimes want to check my Instagram out. Yeah, I'm here at Queen's Court Games doing whatever Queen Court games we do here, but most specifically I am Maya on the All Night Society, where I play just the fucking worst. And then sometimes over at Happy Jack's RPG playing, I make sense. I do logic. Everyone else just doesn't get it, and that's fine and normal. So this has been a very fun thing for me to bring my Happy Jacks family and my QCG family together in one little room, and I hope to do this more often. So if you liked that, you should tell people that you liked that. But yes, we're going to wrap up here for the evening. And remember, if you liked this game, if you're interested in this game, and you want to see the quick start rules for yourself, you can always find the system by typing !game in chat or checking out the show notes. And if you want to hear our post-game thoughts or our session 0, you can head over to Queen's Court Games Patreon for all of our bonus content. So with that, I want to thank you all again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye!